A lot of people are living in their past. They're letting their past circumstances and experience dictate who they are in this current moment, which creates a future full of the past. That's why they call insanity doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same results. Well, a lot of us are walking around a little insane. We're doing the same things, expecting different results, but how are we going to reach business success by trying the same things that are not working? Or how are we going to grow on Instagram by trying the same tactics that clearly aren't helping us grow? How are we going to get better at relationships if we keep running from our emotions and feelings? Well, it all comes down to activating your highest self, or what some people call identity shifting. And we're going to get into the juicy ways of how to do that so you can start changing your daily actions in order to get more momentum for that success that you want, whether it is for a relationship or social media growth or increasing your income or growing your business or coaching practice. We are here to get into the nitty-gritty, to activate your highest self, and to shift your identity into the person that you keep saying you want to be. Let's dive right into it. So, your past has gotten you this far. And I want to ask you the question of, what experiences are you still overplaying in your subconscious mind? Maybe you're not seeing the relationship success you want. Is it because there's some part of you that feels unlovable? Or maybe you're not seeing the business success you want. Is that because there's some part of you that believes that you'll never achieve anything in the world? Unfortunately, a lot of our past trauma is stored in our subconscious minds, but also therefore our bodies and our minds, because everything in the subconscious mind, everything in the brain, everything in the body is creating our full experience of life. You know, that's why they say that there's no such thing as a coincidence, because everything is connected. We are all connected, and collective consciousness is a proof of this. You know, there is no you without me, and there is no me without we. So when we clearly understand this and we get to the root cause of what is showing up in our life, and we take control over the parts of us that are maybe caught up in victimhood or limited thinking, limited mindset, we can rewrite those neural pathways, the neural pathways in our brain that give us our identity. And we can create that identity to be a more productive, more lucrative, a more focused, determined, resilient person. And when we do this, we actualize ourselves, shift into the more awakened and highest self version of us. And our highest self version of us is the one who is in touch with our intuition, in touch with our emotions, is able to gather ideas from the quantum field, maybe $1 million ideas. Maybe we'll be in touch with that part of us that says, go to that cafe at 4 p.m. and then we're going to meet our future soulmate. You know, it's like being in touch with our intuition, being in touch with our highest self, being in touch with the quantum field. That's what manifestation is all about. That it goes so much deeper than manifestation, because a lot of people look at manifestation about, you know, what can I achieve? What can I gather? What can I receive? But when we're connected to our highest self, we're not doing things out of just receiving or getting things. We're doing things out of our truth and authenticity. And funny enough, you manifest the most things in life when you're the most authentic, when you're the most connected to your truth, when you're living in vibrational harmony with your soul and your soul's purpose, and you're living with integrity in your character. So how can we create that integrity in our character and make sure that our past experiences are not weighing into our present moment, which therefore is creating the future out of the past, right? We want to create the future out of a more powerful, focused, intentional present moment, because your identity is what you commit to. When I'm saying that the past is dictating your present, it's because you are so wrapped up in the stories of who you were to get to this point. But what if the universe, what if God is asking you to go beyond the boxes that you put yourself in? You know, I'm even guilty of this, of like so many years of being like, I'm an artist, I'm a musician, I'm a this, I'm a that. Well, it changed all the time. Yes, I am a creative. Yes, I am a creator. Yes, I am an artist. Yes, I am a musician. Yes, I am an entrepreneur. And yes, you are all those positive things too. But when we hold on so tightly and too tightly to some of our identities, it's very limiting, because the universe, we live in 2024. You know, we live in an expansive time to be alive. And the universe wants us to truly become all that we are. And sometimes to become all that we are, we have to let go of those identities that we were. So how do you do that? Well, you get clear on your values and you decide to take responsibility for any pain or any hurt or trauma or stories that you've been through. Like, I know a lot of artists who have been through a lot of traumatic experiences, and they think that putting themselves out there on social media will create a lot of like negative commentary, a lot of people judging them on maybe how they look or how they sound. But that is really their responsibility to heal, because the world isn't made to cater to you and your triggers. You are made to heal your triggers so that you become unshakable, so that you become unstoppable, because people will always have an opinion. So why not give them something great to talk about, is my vibe of it all, you know? Like, there's all like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, these top of the notch performers and celebrities, Oprah, they all have people who hate on them. And when you realize that you can never be so great or so good that everyone likes you, it's very freeing. And I find that a lot of people who are holding on to, you know, past identities or not shifting into all that they could be, it's because they're holding on to the belief that they have to please everyone in their life, and that includes family, that includes all their friends. They're afraid of triggering people. They're afraid of pissing people off. They're afraid of maybe being canceled. They're afraid of all of these self-imposed limitations that they've made up for themselves, honestly, because there's maybe a part of them that has shame, because something will not trigger you unless you identify it within yourself. But this is a way to get to your highest self. If you feel triggered, if you feel small, if you feel hurt and afraid, ask yourself why. What needs to be forgiven? What needs to be shaken hands with and come to terms with? What needs to be truly accepted, embraced, heard, seen, and understood and then let go of. Because a lot of times people stay stuck because they don't allow themselves to fully feel the emotions and process it. Yes, a lot of us have the emotions. We feel the emotions and it scares us, and it might scare us to drink or to zone out. Or, I've known a lot of people who really disassociate from reality. But if we can truly feel and process through different tools, there's breath work, there's meditation, there's daily yoga, movement, working out, a better diet, because our vibration, our body, our mind is all linked, right? So the better we feed it, the better we fuel it, the better we rest it, the more we'll be able to handle on an energetic level. And I find that a lot of people who cannot fully process their emotions are unable to really handle their energy body, their physical health. So when you start to take care of yourself better, when you start to take care of your physical health, when you start to take care of your spiritual health, energy health, whether that's like gratitude journaling for 5 or 10 minutes a day, or praying, or following along on my Instagram where I do all the affirmations and energy cleanses, like that stuff activates energy. And when energy flows where intentions go, and you need to get intentional with your life in order to actualize to your highest self so that you can manifest everything that you desire, right? Because without intention, we're just kind of floating in the space of all that is. And we need to direct that energy. We need to direct and have that like author vibe of our life. We're not sitting back and just like being like, oh, fate is figured out, and like if it's meant to be, it's gonna be, and like I'm gonna meet my partner and there's gonna be a million signs today. And like we have to go beyond the signs and say, okay, why am I not making things happen? And that comes down to really getting clear with your identity, getting clear if there's any past trauma to look at. I love and I see an issue with some of these productivity, mainly men online, who are always like quoting like very motivational quotes and kind of like hustle culture and like go get it, go make it happen. Like, yes, right? Action breeds manifestation. Action is the foundation to like making your goals happen. And you cannot build a business without action. You cannot build a social following without action. You cannot build relationships without action, right? But what a lot of these dudes are not saying is like, a lot of us have trauma. And we have to be able to heal that trauma, to process that trauma, to understand that our subconscious programming creates our reality, and that no amount of action will get us to our desired outcome if we don't heal that trauma, because we'll either burn out or just get overwhelmed. And when we get in flow and harmony with our higher self, then we're in alignment, and so we're not burning out. And that is because all of a sudden we're connected to our truth, our authenticity. Our past, our trauma is not weighing us down. So we have to really look at that layer of trauma and ask yourself, if you keep on getting the same results in life, if you keep on being in the same pattern of like wishing or hoping or like motion, like you think you're doing stuff because you're like scrolling on social media trying to get ideas for your business or content, or you're like doing the manifestation exercises but there is no action, you have to really get clear like what is really underneath that root block of going deeper and healing. And if you do want help with this is the first step of what we do in my peak performance portal, my monthly community, which I'm just launched. I'm so excited. Helps people build $1 million mindsets by shifting their identity. And then it also gives them creative strategies and systems to build $1 million businesses. Because I'm known on Instagram for helping people really reach high levels of mindset and manifestation. But what are you going to do with that $1 million mindset? What are you going to do to get that money? What are you going to do to create that lifestyle that you want? So I am now helping people actualize themselves, yes, shift into their higher self, but also give them the tools and strategies of like how I've grown a business and how so many other creators, entrepreneurs, visionaries are building very lucrative $100,000 a month plus businesses themselves. So if you want all that strategy to do that deeper work, but also to get all that strategy, you can join the Peak Performance portal down below. But let's move on, because another thing you really need to look at if you're not seeing that growth that you want, and this could be connected to your trauma, but it's like habits, right? It's as simple as that. What are your 24/7 habits? Like, do you wake up with your phone next to the bed? Do you sleep with your phone next to the bed? Like, are you working out every day? Like we talked about diet, breaking down your habits to best suit your life. And if you want some new habits to implement in your life, it's wake up an hour earlier and meditate and work out, or meditate and journal. Read 10 pages a day. In my next video, I'm going to break down how to totally change your life in 6 months. And some of these are in there, but also like do self-hypnosis. Like I'm a board certified hypnotherapist. Self-hypnosis is a way that I help people shift because it changes your identity, shifts you into that higher self, gets you connected to your intuition, gets you connected with your truth, and allows you to hear yourself, hear your heart, hear your brain, hear your mind beyond all that chatter. Because all that monkey mind chatter in your life that you have, like all those racing thoughts, and like some of those thoughts you think are like good, right? That's not your soul talking to you. That's your programming. And often our soul speaks in a whisper, right? Our soul speaks in a whisper. And when we can hear that whisper, it's because we've let go of enough distractions. But so many of us are pumping distractions into our body, into our mind, into our ears, into our eyes, into our senses all day, every day. And that's what I'm talking about with habits. Look at your habits and allow that to connect you to a better, more optimized, higher version of yourself, okay? And then another really easy way to connect to your higher self is getting in touch with gratitude, counting your blessings for what you have. Like, yes, we all love growth. Yes, sometimes it's fun to check out all those YouTubers making all that money, or all those creators talking, like driving their Lambos and talking about their $500,000 a month. Sometimes it's fun to check that out, but it doesn't always serve us to see people encouraging us to strive for more and more and more, because what we have now is enough. And I find that people who are living in the past, who are living in lack, they're still connected to that feeling that they're not enough. And when you connect to gratitude, you realize that you are more than enough, that you have more than everything you need. You have exactly what you want. And when you start to sink into, wow, my life is really blessed, that's when you see more and more blessings happen. And if you have a hard time connecting to gratitude because maybe you are in a really tough state of your life, or you're in this deep traumatic unfolding of like you're totally changing your life. I went through a spiritual awakening 15 years ago, so I get it. Sometimes we won't be able to connect to gratitude, but that's when you have to just sink in to the roller coaster, to the ups and downs. And that is something that I want to bring up too. I feel like it's really powerful to allow us to have ups and downs. It's really powerful to really go with the emotions of life and let ourselves feel fully, because when we fully feel, we fully heal, and it brings us somewhere else. And the universe is always watching. And the work that you put in to heal yourself, to change yourself, to positively uplift yourself is never taken for granted. You are going to be able to, grow a stronger business. You are going to be able to be more creative. You're going to be able to have a better sex life. You're going to be able to have better relationships, romantic relationships, intimacy, connection, because of the work that you do on yourself today. And when you show up fully and authentically, that is you showing up as your higher self. It's not some kind of, magical thing. You're showing up as your highest self when you allow yourself to fully process and be awakened to who you are. All right, my friend? So get clear on your values. Get clear on your why. What is your long-term vision in your life? Take 5 minutes and write down your long-term vision of your life, and then break that down into daily action steps for that long-term vision to come into your life sooner than later. Like, if you want to grow a personal brand, daily action could go join my Peak Performance Portal, or to take my Go Viral social media course. Or you could come up with all your content ideas for 30 days and then start shooting it. So many of us have so many ideas, and we stay in this idea center. And that's what I mean by the past is dictating our future, and we're not being present. And the present is creative energy. The present is opportunity. The present is awakened, actualized. So ask yourself, how would your highest self interact with others? And do everything, and then start acting as that person. Start living by your truth. How would your highest self dress? How would your most actualized self walk into a room? How would you, owning that 8-figure business, interact with the world? How would you hold yourself? How would you, what would your posture be like? Would you be working out every day? What would your schedule be like? So many of us want to change our reality and get into our higher self, and then we're not changing our daily habits. Would you be waking up at 8 or 9 o'clock? If you're running an 8-figure business, maybe sometimes because you're working until 2 and that sleep is important, but would you also be, in the gym, up early, meditating, doing that yoga, eating well? I bet you would, because you would need to have the most energy available to you, right? Your most optimal flow, and be in flow state. And what does flow state even mean? It means being in the present. And that means not letting the past dictate you. So heal that trauma, my friends. Look at the shadows and the stories that you have told yourself, and see if there's anything lurking in that subconscious mind that is creating your reality in this moment. And let's do the work to say good riddance to that, to let that go and get into our present moment, where we are creative, where we are actualized, where we are showing up powerfully, and what we say we want to do, we do. How we want to show up to the world, we show up, because it's who we are. It's who we came here to be. We are the creators. We are the owners of the future. We are the brilliant people. We are powerful. We are creating legacies for ourselves. We are creating stories that will be told for generations. We are creating the new future by living so present in the now. The universe is always supporting you. So instead of thinking things are unfair, know that the universe will support you in your thoughts. So if you think things are unfair, you will see unfair. But if you start to believe that things are working in your favor, that you get to be better every day, and that your effort does lead to a payoff energetically, physically, financially, then you will step into that purpose. And you will step into that prosperity, because this is your moment in time to do this work, to self-actualize, to activate your higher self. You don't have to ask for permission from anyone. You don't have to walk on eggshells. You get to live as the powerful creator that you are. People care about what you have to say. People hear what you say. People are inspired by you because you decide to change your reality today, and people notice. So remember, how does your ideal self, your higher self, think, feel, and act? And then break down all those things and reasons and stories of why you're not able to think, act, or feel as good as that higher self would feel. And you will have the solution to, manifesting all you want, to building that business, to building that relationship success. It's always about getting on an underneath layer of what's going on within us, because that's always the reality that we see in the world. So stop projecting your limitations and start projecting your strength, your brilliance, your possibility, unlimited potential. All right? If you want to join, if you want to tap into that unlimited potential and have the tools in order to do so, then join the Peak Performance Portal down below. These are the same tools I give my mastermind clients, although they get a little deeper vibe with like business and all that. But, it's all about actualization and manifestation, baby. But not in that corny, cheapened way, because it's all about becoming your higher self today. All right? Da. Like, subscribe, follow, all those things. I will see you in the next one.